Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. Grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
Well, that was annoying. Welcome back, everybody. Good thing my phone doesn't need internet to work. Yeah, so let's try this again, shall we? I didn't even know it was supposed to storm like that. And so I actually did check the radar just now, and there is a pretty strong storm that just went through. So thankfully the power did not stay out longer than it went out, just enough to reset all of the clocks and to destroy my live. So we'll just wait a minute for others to get in. So welcome back to Sinner. Yeah, shit happens for sure. Chris, hello. Bash, SoFlo, Angel, Laugh at Life, yeah. Part 2, Jen T. Yeah, so what the heck? So I did check the radar. It shouldn't be storming again. It was literally just a single cell just kind of was where I am. And so now it's hopefully not going to bother me the rest of the day. So I did put yes, I'm back. I put the last live on private just because I am going to edit out at least some of it, because I thought the power came immediately back on, but then I guess like the modem had to do its thing. I don't know. But then I was like, oh, I can go on there on my phone and at least say what's going on and then come back. Yes, I'm back. So I am going to start the presentation over just because I feel like it needs to flow. I can't just start with the second video on Carly. And so I am going to show the first one again. So for those of you who were here for the first live, welcome. For those of you who were, welcome back. And we're going to get this started. So today I am going to talk about Carlee Russell. I have two videos about her. One is from a local news station, and then the second video is the interview that her parents did with NBC News that was aired on the Today Show. Then we're going to get into Jordan Melton and Jamal Jones, who were two firefighters who were shot at their firehouse. And unfortunately, Jordan Melton did succumb to his injuries last night. So I have two videos on them, just one that kind of summarizes the case, and then another video that talks about Jordan. The last case we're going to talk about is Andre Longmore, who killed 4 people in Hampton, Georgia, in Henry County. And most of those videos, I have a few that are going to sum up the case, but the majority of them are dedicated to the victims. And then once we finish talking about those who lost their lives, we'll wrap it up. And I'm definitely going to be live later, probably 4:40. Well, yeah, probably like 4-ish. I'm not sure. It depends how long. This shouldn't take more than an hour, but we'll see. But I will be going live later because I've been told girlfriend is not talking very nicely about Carlee. And so that is no bueno, in my opinion. So again, Carlee Nicole Russell this was actually Hoover, Alabama. I put Birmingham, which Birmingham is north of Hoover. So I also need to change that. She went missing on July 13th, 2023, around 9:40 was the last time she was heard from. And she was found on July 15th, about 48 hours, just over 48 hours later. All right, so we are going to watch this one again just because.
I'm so thankful that Carlee is home safe. So thankful.
25-year-old Carlee Russell back at home tonight. She showed up at her home late Saturday night. The question now, though, what happened? Thanks for choosing WVTM 13 News. I'm Guy Rawlings.
And I'm Brittany Decker. People all over the world have been following this story so closely. Now we're all waiting to find out what happened to Carlee Russell and how did she end up back at her home?
We're bringing you the latest information tonight as part of our team coverage. WVTM 13's Chip Scarborough and Ian Wright's live tonight.
We begin with Ian. Police are still quiet on this entire situation, Ian.
Yeah, so Brittany and Guy, we did just get an update from police about an hour ago. It doesn't give us a lot of new information about what happened, but it does give us an idea of where they're focusing that investigation now that Carlee is back home and safe with her family. So let me go ahead and run you through exactly what they said. Again, this was released just after 5 o'clock tonight. It said, quote, detectives are combing through numerous pieces of evidence collected from the time she went missing until her return home and beyond. Each piece of information is helping investigators reconstruct Carlee's movements during the time she was missing. They went on to say this is a tedious process, but it's important to make sure everything is methodically evaluated so we have the clearest possible picture of what took place from the time Carlee called 911 until she returned home on Saturday night. So keep in mind, that was about a 48-hour period, Thursday night until Saturday evening. While we don't know exactly what happened during that time frame, we do have an idea of what happened in the moments leading up to her disappearance. So let me run you through that. And that's what we know from police. Again, that was Thursday night. Carlee went missing after leaving work. She ordered food from a restaurant in Hoover. She picked up the food. Police say it appears she was alone at the time and was not being followed.
And that was, just to recap, that was something that I did not know prior, is that law enforcement have stated that they do not believe that she was being followed. So that was one thing I did not know. So that is one thing that we can kind of put to rest, so to speak.
To know at about 9:30 that night, she called some friends or family members, and then at 9:34 called 911 reporting a child on the side of I-459 right near the Colonnade. Police say she is the only such call to come in about that child. Carlee stopped on the side of the interstate. Within 5 minutes, police were on the scene. Carlee was gone, though, leaving behind everything, including her cell phone. Now, 2 days later, this is Saturday night now, she showed up at her house around 10:30 that evening, her parents immediately calling the police. Carly was taken to a hospital. She was treated and released. We also know police spoke with her some point at Saturday night. They took a statement from her, but they say that's part of an ongoing investigation that will continue. Those details have not been released. As you can imagine, it has been a very long and tiring days for Carly Russell's family, her friends, a number of folks in the community coming together, helping with those search efforts. Chip Scarborough joining us live this afternoon. And Chip, you have reaction from one community activist who helped with that search during that 48 hours she was missing.
And community activist Harry Traveling Shoes Turner took part in the search for Carly Russell over the weekend, and he says he's beyond relieved to know that she made it home safely. Turner, just one of several hundred people taking part in that search, gathering in the parking lot of the Hoover Met on Saturday afternoon to help look for Carly Russell. The crowd searching for Russell remained hopeful she would in fact make it home safely, and that's exactly what happened just a few short hours after crews wrapped up their second day of searching.
So I was already
And I said it before, but this guy's name is amazing. Mr. Harry Traveling Shoes Turner. And you'll see why I say I want him to be my friend.
expecting that we was going to have that young lady back with her mama and her daddy. And if there's a kidnapper watching now, if there's an abductor watching us right now, if you have somebody locked up in a basement, locked up in an abandoned building, chained to a wall somewhere, let them go. Let them go.
I love that guy. And I would love to meet him and be his friend.
And Turner says he and others who took part in the search over the weekend really just don't want to speculate right now about what happened after Carly vanished. They want to leave that to the police.
Oh, and I actually missed that the first time I played this video. They don't want to speculate right now. They want to leave things up to law enforcement. I feel like that's something we all should adhere to. Don't speculate right now. Let law enforcement do what law enforcement does, and then just wait for the facts to come out.
I do want to let you know that we visited a motel just down Highway 31 from where we are right now. There was a report that Carly may have been there on Saturday night. I walked into the motel, was given a number for corporate communications, reached out to them. They told me they could not confirm anything. Any information about Carly's whereabouts would have to come from Hoover PD. We'll, of course, keep you posted. Live in Hoover tonight, Chip Scarborough, WVTM 13.
All right, Chip Scarborough live for us in Hoover as well. Chip, thank you so much. Obviously, we're going to continue to stay on top of this story. Any new developments, we'll bring them right to you here on WVTM 13. For now, we're live in Hoover. I'm Ian Wrights, WVTM 13 News.
Okay, so now this is where I was so rudely interrupted by the thunderstorm that made me lose power for a split second. And so this is an exclusive that Carly's parents did with NBC News, and it did air on the Today Show. Hey, Betty with the good hair.
That moment you all first laid eyes on her again.
All right, let's not do this. And while we're waiting for this, I'll just pause it for a minute. I'll just say hi, people coming in. So, Chris, hello again. No Wire Hangers, welcome again. Cocoa Puff, Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Puff. Oh my gosh, that brings me way back seeing that name. Mocha, hello. Shauna, I think Shauna, I did say hi. Tiffany, Nurse Bev, and I agree with you. Yes, I think not just Betty, I think a lot of people need to listen to that statement and keep the speculation at bay until we know more of what's going on.
What was it like?
To me, I mean, just so much joy.
This morning, in an exclusive sit-down with NBC News, the parents of 25-year-old Carly Russell are speaking out. describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 48 hours.
What did you do when you saw her?
We tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But it's
Last Thursday, police say Carly called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. She pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described hearing Carly scream.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running, all her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene,
which was interesting. So this is where I had said, I think it was yesterday. And of course that just went off the screen for some strange reason. Dispatch had said the car was running, all of her belongings were there except for her phone. Later it was stated in a press release that her phone was also located with the other belongings that were nearby her car. And we'll just wait a minute because I'm not sure what's actually, I'm going to stop sharing for a second and then reshare. Sometimes that seems to help in most cases. And it's still not. All right, here we go. It'll start in a moment. Hey, Rowdy. Lisa, welcome. Well, hopefully it's going to work. All right, let's try this way.
That moment you all first laid eyes on her again.
All right, so this clearly isn't being cooperative. All right, so we'll just wait another minute or so. And then I might have to just end this one too, because now the internet is acting up because of the rain and the power issues. And it doesn't need to buffer because it's buffered enough. All right, so while we're waiting, let me just see if there was anyone else that I did not say hello to. Elaine, hello from New Jersey.
Russell are speaking out, describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 48 hours.
What did you do when you saw her?
We tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But it's
Last Thursday, police say Carly called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. She pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described hearing Carly scream.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carly or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period. The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so evil.
Authorities.
And I'm really glad, well, I'm not glad, but I'm thankful that the mom said that statement, because I feel like we've all seen how evil people can actually be in situations like this, where not all of the facts are there. Some of the facts don't make sense. They are curious to us. They are confusing. And again, I have to say it, I always say it, like, we need to just be patient and wait for law enforcement to tell us what truly happened.
Authorities have not indicated where Carly was during the 48 hours she was missing or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But they say speculation about the circumstances surrounding Carly's disappearance are only making things worse.
Oh, and I'm very glad that the reporter from NBC News also said what I've been thinking. Speculation does nothing but make matters worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carly has given detectives her statement so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC News has reached out to the Hoover Police Department to ask whether they're looking for an individual involved. Police have just said they're following up on all information provided by Carly.
And when I talked to you all on Saturday, you also said your daughter is a fighter and she would find a way back to you.
I felt that in my heart.
Is that what happened?
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Do you believe she was fighting for her life?
Oh, she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments when she had to mentally fight for her life.
But she made it back to you.
She made it back.
Yeah, she did make it back. All right, Priscilla, so investigators are obviously busy on this case. What are they looking into going forward?
Yeah, Hoda, right now they're analyzing that initial 911 call and also that traffic cam video showing that car driving on the interstate very slowly with its flashers on, believed to be Carly's car. And of course, they're looking at the evidence from the crime scene, including the car and her cell phone, which was found on the roadway nearby. Police say that they have been able to account for all of her steps leading up to her disappearance, but those 48 hours when she was gone still remain a mystery. Hoda?
Yeah, leaving behind her phone, her pocket.
And so that also is something that was a little bit unclear with the last press release. So according to NBC News, investigators have been able to retrack her steps between the time she worked and the time she disappeared. So nowhere in that statement did I hear anything about her drinking or doing other illegal activities that may cause this, which is a lot of the speculation happening on other channels through other creators. So that's one thing that they have not stated. So again, those speculating those types of things need to just stop.
pocketbook and all those things, a lot of things that investigators are looking into. Priscilla, thank you.
Okay.
That moment.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, I'm gonna have to do this a different way. There we go. Okay. Yeah, and Lisa, that's why I have had to leave a lot of creators I like watching. I either have to just listen or I have to leave because the comments in chat drive me insane. They infuriate me, and I have to leave because a lot of the comments present things as fact, and it's disturbing. I agree, Laura Lee. I believe her family, and I believe her unless professionals or law enforcement in that case come out one day and say otherwise. Absolutely. Hey, Hippie, welcome back. Okay, so the next one, I have 2 videos in relation to this as well. So this is Jordan Melton and Jamal Jones, and they are 2 firefighters who were shot in the Bay Area of their firehouse on July 12th, 2023 in Birmingham, Alabama. And unfortunately, Jordan did lose his life. He succumbed to his injuries. So I have a video just summarizing the event, and then I also have a video that speaks about Jordan.
Breaking news, we are learning more about the Birmingham firefighters injured.
There's an evil person that just trashes her. She doesn't know her. It's disgusting. Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't know these people. We don't know. We know what law enforcement has told us. That's what we know. We know what we've heard from the dispatch calls. And the other thing I'm noticing is some creators are still saying that it's the 911 call, and it's not the 911 call. And that, to me, I just find very irresponsible that they're calling it a 911 call when it's not the 911 call. It's dispatch relaying the information from the 911 call to law enforcement. There's a big difference between those 2 things.
In a shooting this morning in the Norwood community.
I'm Guy Rawlings. They've been identified as Jordan Melton and Jamal Jones. Both remain at UAB Hospital after being shot while on duty this morning. Melton has critical injuries. Jones' injuries are serious. WVTM 13's Lisa Crane has been following this story all day, joins us live from Station 9 where the shooting happened. What can you tell us about the investigation, Lisa?
Well, guys, I can tell you that right now, the police are working very hard to figure out who shot those 2 gentlemen right here in the Norwood neighborhood, right in front of, or right inside, I should say, station number 9 here. As you can see it behind me, those gentlemen standing right inside the bay doors there, they were open at the time. It happened at about 8:30 this morning. And again, they were standing just inside those open bay doors. And you just heard, we have just learned very recently the names of the 2 victims and their condition, one listed in serious condition, the other in critical condition. We have had Gladys Bautista standing by at UAB Hospital for most of the day, getting updates on their condition. And she joins us now live. Actually, I think we've lost her shot, but let's talk. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing the producer here, but we know that those folks that were injured were taken to UAB Hospital. Within the last 30 minutes or so, we did learn their identities. Firefighter Jamal Jones and firefighter Jordan Melton were the 2 shot today at Fire Station 9. We've learned Melton is in critical condition, Jones in serious condition. And we've been in contact with Jones' wife, who says doctors have been updating her on his condition all day. Officials with the Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service said in a statement they send their thoughts and prayers to the 2 injured firefighters, their families, and the entire Birmingham Fire and Rescue family. Mayor Randall Woodfin, in a statement on Twitter, asked that the city join him in lifting up the entire Birmingham Fire and Rescue team as during this very difficult time, and asked for patience as Birmingham police continue their investigation. Certainly everyone praying and hoping that these two gentlemen will fully recover and fight to pull through, make a full recovery. The UB Hospital is where they are now. And you can imagine a lot of those firefighter friends and comrades are there supporting them as well as their family members. Now, the police chief updated us on this case this morning. And then up until we got those names a little while ago, we hadn't heard a lot from the authorities on this, but we do know that the police are investigating. They believe this morning this was a targeted attack, and what they wanted to find out is why anyone would target these two men. Now, when investigators were deep into collecting evidence here a short time ago, they were keeping us pretty far back from the crime scene, neighbors as well. And even though they have opened up the road now, police say this is still a crime scene. Police say the shooter or shooters walked into the station through the open bay doors and gunned down those two men. It's a crime that has outraged some in this community.
Why, man? Sometimes we got to take time just to take a break and think about the consequences of what we're doing. Why is the reason? You know what I mean? Senseless stuff. Some of this stuff is just uncontrolled anger. You know what I mean? I just can't control my anger. So I decided to pick up a gun.
Now, certainly this situation hitting this community pretty hard. WVTM 13's Jarvis Robertson has been out here canvassing the neighborhood all day long, talking to the residents around here, and he joins us now live. Jarvis, I know a lot of folks who just say they can't believe this happened.
Yeah, Lisa, what that guy just said in your soundbite is the big question here in this neighborhood. Why? A lot of people trying to wrap their mind around it still in disbelief. Now, I've knocked on several doors here in the Norwood community. A lot of them really stunned by what happened. When we were over near the fire station, there were people still stopping by around 12:30 trying to figure out what happened and why it happened. Now, a lot of the people that I spoke with says that this community needs a lot of prayer. A lot of them need help turning from the
Hey, Mona Lisa, welcome.
violence that they resort to so it can make this community a much safer and a much better place. I also spoke with one man. He was out working on his truck. He says that a lot of people here in the area, unfortunately, they don't value life because of that violence. I want you all to take a listen to just some of the things that the people told me.
I'm a true believer in God. You know what I mean? And I put all my faith and trust in him. And that's what a lot of us need to start doing. Maybe things wouldn't be jumping off like it's jumping off. Ain't nobody grabbing hold to the right hope.
Why? Why would you do that? I mean, why would anybody do that to any human being? This isn't the way to solve problems.
So out of all the people that I spoke with, one thing that they do want to pass along to the Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service, the people in this community, they appreciate the hard work that the firefighters put in and day in and out, protecting this community, making sure that it is safe. So once we get an answer to this, a motive to this shooting, I'm sure there are a lot of people that will be relieved here. Reporting live from the Norwood community, I'm Jarvis Robertson, WVTM 13.
All right, Jarvis, thank you so much. And of course, we have heard from firefighters from all over the state. This is very much a brotherhood and a sisterhood. Firefighters feel like their family, even if they've never met other firefighters. So a lot of them coming out showing their support online, on social media as well. We'll continue to keep you updated on this story. Live in Birmingham, Lisa Crane, WVTM 13.
Okay, so the next one is from, I believe this was from yesterday. It was either yesterday, late yesterday, or this morning. Yeah, really tragic for sure, SoFlo Mama. And we'll just wait a minute for this to decide to work. It just seems like you can't go anywhere these days without someone with bad intentions being around or doing something senseless and horrific. Oh, if playback doesn't begin shortly, try restarting your device. Well, that is annoying. All right, so give me 1 second. I'm going to... Okay, well, it started working as soon as I stopped sharing. So let's try this again, shall we? All right, so I can see it's buffering, so let's hope that it starts soon. Hey, Steph. Better late than never. That's okay. I actually had to restart because my power went out on the part 1 of my live that I was halfway into, so I restarted. So you're late, but not that late.
The Birmingham firefighter has died following a shooting last week. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Guy Rawlings.
And I'm Sherry Falk. Jordan Melton and another firefighter were ambushed at Fire Station 9 in the Norwood area last week. And tonight, this shooting investigation turned into a homicide.
WVTM 13's Aaron Llewellyn live at UAB Hospital tonight. A very somber evening for the city, Aaron.
Yes, Guy, Sherry. Jordan Melton fought for his life for nearly a week, but today marks his end of watch as a Birmingham firefighter, and the condolences have already started pouring in for people who are ready to wrap his family in their thoughts and prayers. Now, Melton was with the fire department for a little more than a year, and he had just recently graduated from the Recruit Academy. Melton and another firefighter, Jamal Jones, were shot last Wednesday morning while doing routine maintenance at Station 9 in the Norwood neighborhood. That's when police say someone entered the station on 7th Avenue, shooting the 2 firefighters. They say the man who shot the firefighters had a personal conflict with one of them, but so far, no arrests have been made in the case. Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service remembering their fallen brother, saying, "Thank you for your service, Firefighter Melton. Today, we pause to honor your life and your legacy." Mayor Randall Woodfin offering his condolences in a statement saying, in part, Jordan was a vibrant young brother who was full of life. He loved sports as much as he loved barbecue and was always ready to lighten the mood with a joke or two. Now, Mayor Randall Woodfin also says that the city is using every resource it can to find the person who took Melton's life. There is a $15,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. But for right now, we're live in Birmingham. Aaron Llewellyn, WVTM 13.
Well, this week, the Birmingham community will come together to support Melton and Jones. Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service will hold a blood drive Wednesday from 9 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. This will be at Fire Station number 1 on 7th Avenue North. The event is open to firefighters and the public.
Okay. So that's all I have at this point in regards to the 2 Birmingham firefighters. And again, I will continue to follow that as things come to play. So the last case we're going to talk about is that of Andre Longmore, who is no longer alive. He was taken out by police after a shootout. And he killed 4 in Hampton, Georgia in a subdivision on July 15th, 2023. And so I did kind of give a summation. So this is the first thing we're going to watch is the press conference, just a short snippet of it, of when they let the public know that the mass shooting suspect is indeed dead. And again, we'll just wait a moment because actually I'll just pause it for a second, let it catch up. super sad. And this is even this one is just as sad. I don't think we'll ever know why this guy did what he did, but I do know that there are several families and entire community that's been affected by this person. And Bash, I did just get your email, so thank you. Okay, I need to find, if anybody knows another presentation, like website or app that I can use. StreamYard does not like Google Slides for some reason. I don't know why, but every time I tried it, it just, I mean, it was working great earlier and now it's not working. So I need to find something else to use because Google Slides, I love it, but StreamYard does not.
In collaboration with the Henry County Sheriff's Office, U.S. Marshals, Henry County Police Department, Henry Emergency Management, Hampton Police Department, Clayton County Sheriff's Office, Clayton County Police Department, Clayton EMS, Clayton Fire, Georgia State Patrol, Stockbridge PD, Fulton County SO, and Fulton County PD. The monster's dead. By utilizing collective investigative measures, we were able to track this suspect over to 138 in Mount Zion Parkway. We engaged the suspect. The suspect returned fire and hit the ground running. We gave chase, re-engaged the suspect. He produced a handgun again, shots and fired. Well, gunfire was exchanged. The suspect was neutralized. The citizens of Hampton, the county of Henry, Metro Atlanta area, the entire state of Georgia can breathe a little easy tonight. If the suspect is off the street, we have a couple of officers that are injured. The most severe has been life flighted to Grady. He was hit in the rear of his back. He is conscious, breathing, and talking at this time frame. At this point, we don't want to say anything else because the family has been notified. We will want to sort of keep that close to the vest right now until we find out exactly what is going on with the officer progressing. Please continue to keep these officers in your prayers. Thank you to the collective work, these men and women behind me. It's an absolute honor to serve with them. It's an absolute honor to have this day that we can breathe a little bit easier and sleep a little bit better tonight. This monster is off of our streets. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Kevin Roberts, Clayton County Police Department, Chief of Police. I'm pleased to report that along with our partners in the Southern Crescent, we were able to apprehend this offender very, very quickly, considering the circumstances and the way that he was maneuvering. He traveled into Clayton County, and the Henry County Sheriff made me aware, and we mobilized resources that engaged him in two different scenes where gunfire was exchanged. And as the sheriff previously said, we also had officers that sustained injuries from gunfire. Those officers are stable, conscious, and alert, and we expect them to survive. I would like to mention what you see here is a partnership, continued partnership, critical incident after critical incident. These resources, these leaders come together to ensure the safety of not only Henry County, but Clayton County and the Southern Crescent region. And I'm pleased to be part of this partnership and collaboration. And we will continue to keep the citizens of the Southern region safe in this manner moving forward.
Good afternoon. My name is James Turner. I'm the police chief for the City of Hampton Police Department. On July the 15th, between 10:45 and 10:55 a.m., 4 residents in the City of Hampton lost their life. First was Scott Levitt, age 67. He lived on Dogwood Lakes Drive. His wife, Shirley Levitt, age 66, also on Dogwood Lakes Drive. Third was Steve Blizzard, age 65, lived on Dogwood Lakes Drive as well. Last was Ronald Jeffers, age 66, lived on Dogwood Ridge. I think it's important that we remember our victims. It is everybody that stands behind me, it is our job to provide safety for our community. When this tragedy happened, I am proud to say that the men and women behind me now, didn't sleep until the resolution that the sheriff spoke of today. I'd like to thank all the members of the Hampton Police Department, all the members of the Henry County Sheriff's Office, Henry County Police Department, U.S. Marshals, the State Patrol, every agency in the Henry County Fire, and the ones that assisted in Clayton today. Every agency stepped up, and collectively we brought resolution and some peace to our state.
Okay, so I didn't mean to cut him off like I did, but okay, so now we get into when the suspect was found. And so this is just some eyewitness. And the one kid that they interview, like you can tell like his adrenaline is going because he's just like, he's fired up, so to speak.
Tonight we have live team coverage, as you can see on the end of that.
Come on, you can do it.
Hunt. Atlanta News First, Yasmina Alston and Asia Wilson have been outside all day in the field gathering details, but we want to start with you, Yasmina. What's the very latest on what investigators are telling you?
Yeah, Troy, I can tell you that authorities say they located Andre Longmore around 1:30 this afternoon, not far from where we are right now. We did also speak with residents who say he was trying to hide from police in their home.
He's crouched down by the back door now, telling us let him in. He's a nice person. We're like, okay.
So this is the guy who I feel like his adrenaline is just on like full speed because he's like super hyper.
We're not letting him in.
A chaotic scene. Dozens of police cars surrounded this community on Mount Zion Parkway in Jonesboro. They were looking for this man, Andre Longmore, the suspect in a mass shooting in Henry County.
He had a gun. He was naked. He was bleeding.
Justin Robinson and his friends were in their backyard on Wagon Wheel Court on Sunday. They say Longmore jumped into the yard asking them for help, but they ran to alert the authors.
Police go in. They open the back door. As soon as they open the back door, they don't even look. They don't like assess anything. As soon as they open the back door, this guy just starts shooting. Shoots one of the cops. The police start shooting, and now he's laying in there dead on the carpet.
Authorities confirm Longmore was involved in a shooting with police, though they didn't provide details. We know officers tracked him to the area near Mount Zion High School. They say he tried to get away and was eventually killed. A Henry County Sheriff's deputy and 2 Clayton County police officers were injured.
It scared me. I knew something was wrong, and I was praying it was the act.
Oh my gosh. So this person, I'm assuming this person didn't want to have their face on camera, but how cool is it that their shirt has that design on it?
The shooter, and that they got him.
Longmore is accused of opening fire in the Dogwood Lakes area Saturday morning, killing 4. The scene, once officers found him, lasted for hours.
The SWAT team was out here earlier in the SWAT truck. There was more cops than this. There was at least 100. We saw 2 ambulances with 2 sheriff escorts.
And many residents are still waiting to return to their homes. You can see behind me that it is still a very active scene as several agencies continue their investigations. Live in Jonesboro, Yasmina Alston, Atlanta News First.
Yasmina, thank you.
All right, so now this news clip is the mom of Andre did speak out. So we're going to take a listen to this, and then we get into the footage and videos of the victims.
Right now, we're learning new details about the man who police say was behind a...
Come on.
Deadly mass shooting over the weekend, and this sent several communities on the south side into a state of panic.
Yeah, police shot and killed Andre Longmore during what a witness describes as a shootout. Here's Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm in Hampton.
I spoke off camera with the mother of the now deceased suspect. She tells me her son was in the Army for 6 years. She says years after his service, he snapped.
I'm just beside myself right now. I just don't know what to think.
Neighbors in the Dogwood Lake subdivision in Hampton are in a state of disbelief after what police say 41-year-old Andre Longmore did Saturday morning.
He was shooting right at the car.
He was shooting at the car.
As soon as I opened up my window, I seen his arms in the air. I said, okay, I'm just missed the shot. When he came back down, he focused again.
When it was all over, 4 of Longmore's neighbors were dead. Scott Levitt and his wife Shirley, Steve Blizzard, and Ronald Jeffers, all in their mid-60s. The next day, police tracked Longmore to Jonesboro. Justin Robinson tells us he and his friends were in his backyard when the man appeared, saying he needed help.
He had a gun, he was naked, he was bleeding.
They ran off and called police.
Police go in, they open the back door. As soon as they open the back door, they don't even look. They don't like assess anything. As soon as they open the back door, this guy just starts shooting. Shoots one of the cops. The police start shooting, and now he's laying in there dead on the carpet.
Henry County Sheriff Reginald Scandrett said this when he made the announcement.
The monster's dead.
Longmore's mother tells me her son had been a sergeant in the 82nd Airborne. She says he received several commendations for his stellar service, but years later, he began to lose sleep and act strangely. She says he was diagnosed with PTSD and schizophrenia. She says, in her opinion, the military created the monster her son became. Longmore's mother told me she wants her neighbors to know how sorry she is for what her son did. She says her heart breaks for them. In Hampton, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
Okay. And so now we get into the victims who lost their lives because of this, as the sheriff stated, monster.
And News First was there as police brought injured officers to Grady Hospital in Atlanta. Tonight, we've learned a total of 3 officers were hurt today, but they are expected to make full recoveries. Police formally identified the 4 people killed today. Atlanta News First, Asia Wilson is live in Hampton right now. And Asia, this community is still in shock tonight.
Yeah, Tori, they're hurting. They're grieving. I spoke to one person who says the Dogwood Lakes community has about 45 homes in it, and nearly everyone knows each other, many of them very close. But some say they're even more concerned that the suspect lived here, adding that it could have been them too.
The last 36 hours have been very sad and surreal for this community. When we came yesterday, we had no idea that tragedy would befall this tranquil and peaceful community.
Hampton, a small community with a little over 8,000 people, is in its worst pain.
On July the 15th, between 10:45, 10:55 a.m., 4 residents in the city of Hampton lost their life.
Chief James Turner identified the victims as Ronald Jeffers, Steve Blizzard, and a couple, Shirley and Scott Levitt. The pair lives right behind Roy Hendricks, who trembled at the sight of Saturday's active scene.
People behind me, somebody here got shot. I don't know these people here, but I do know there's a family here. I know there's a couple of kids, I believe, or either grandkids or their kids, but they've always been nice, you know, but I'm just beside myself right now. I just don't know what to think.
On Sunday, officials confirmed the accused shooter, Andre Longmore, lived in the Dogwood Lakes neighborhood. One man saw him in action, shooting at his neighbor.
Shooting right at the car.
He was shooting at the car.
As soon as I opened up my window, I seen his arms in the air. I said, okay, I'm just missed the shot. When he came back down, he focused again.
It's evident that residents are not the only ones grieving.
Is about the victims of this tragic event. It's about their families, and it's about the community.
But emotions also being felt by those leading the city.
Yesterday will certainly go down as one of the saddest in the 150-year history of this city.
Now, the mayor is saying today that there will be a candlelight vigil tomorrow night at 7:30. It's set to take place at the Terry Jones Depot Park. She's encouraging anyone to come to support these grieving families. We're live tonight in Hampton. Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
Asia, excellent reporting out there. Thank you for that report. Well, today I also spoke with the suspect's aunt by phone, who says her nephew served in the military and had mental health issues. We are working to confirm those details.
And that's good to know that they're working to confirm those details. I'm not sure how they'll be able to confirm that, but it would be interesting to know if he truly did suffer from not only PTSD, but also schizophrenia.
Tonight, family and friends will remember the 4 people killed in a weekend mass shooting. 67-year-old Scott Levitt and his wife, 66-year-old Shirley Levitt, along with 65-year-old Steve Blizzard and 66-year-old Ronald Jeffers, all lived in Hampton. Saturday morning, authorities say Andre Longmore shot and killed them. Yesterday, officers shot and killed him in a shootout. Fox 5's Kim Luffler has been following this story since the moment it broke, and she joins us live now with new information about this case. Kim.
Well, people we've talked to today are still in shock that this happened in this small town, but they are breathing a sigh of relief now that the shooter has been stopped. Now, as you said, this all started around 10:45 a.m. Saturday morning. Police say Andre Longmore, a resident in the Dogwood Lakes neighborhood, shot 4 of his neighbors before taking off in one of the victim's cars. They located him at a neighborhood in Jonesboro Sunday afternoon, where he was killed after a shootout with police. Neighbors tell us Longmore was a veteran and had mental health issues. One neighbor says 3 of those neighbors were killed within just 8 minutes of one another. They told us about one of the victims, 65-year-old Steve Blizzard.
He served on our board of HOA, and he was just very vigilant. He knew a lot about the neighborhood, and he's just a good guy, just a really good guy.
He had lived here since the neighborhood was established in the mid-90s, and so he was very knowledgeable about the neighborhood, been on the HOA. He was our vice president.
They say Ronald Jeffers was also active in the neighborhood HOA. He lived right next to where the shooter lives. Scott and Shirley Levitt were living with their daughter. We spoke to one of their family members who asked for privacy at this time. Now, right now.
And I can imagine, so 2 of the victims were a married couple, and they were the couple that lived with their daughter. And I can't imagine the grief and pain that these families and this community is going through. I would wish that upon no one.
Police have not said exactly what led up to the shooting, but the neighbors we spoke to say right now it does appear to be random. There will be a vigil tonight at 7:30. That will be at the Terry Jones Depot Park.
And the last video I have is in regards to that vigil, and again talking about the victims that tragically lost their lives because of one person's horrible decision.
In Henry County, 4 victims of a mass shooting in Hampton. Ronald, Steve, Scott, and Shirley are being honored tonight, and there was a huge turnout in that city, in the city at Terry Jones Park.
Yeah, that community is still healing tonight. Teresa Bowles live at the park with new information. And Teresa, how has this tragedy impacted the Hampton community?
A very somber spirit, guys. We're now getting a better idea of those moments that led up to alerting police that something was wrong as far as leading up to that quadruple murder. It all started at the local library, and in an interview you'll only see on 11 Alive, I'll find out how they handled it.
Holding on to the light.
Darkness and evil has not won.
that we do have hope today.
And passing that light on to the next person hurting, because there are some answers the city of Hampton may not get.
I don't think anybody in law enforcement has any comprehensive view or understanding as to all the complexities of what tormented this poor soul into carrying out the acts that he did. We may never know.
Darkness fell on Hampton this past weekend when police say Andre Longmore shot and killed 4 people in the Dogwood Lakes neighborhood. Longmore eventually died after a shootout with police the next day. City officials took time to shine a light on victims Steve Blizzard, Ron Jeffers, and Scott and Shirley Levitt. Hampton Police Chief James Turner highlighting the suspect's family too.
The mother of the suspect is a victim as well. She has lost her son.
One answer we do have is what happened in the beginning. Saturday morning, Forston Library staff had to jump into action.
We had a member of the community who came into the library and stated to a staff member that she felt that her life was in danger.
Henry County Library Director Kathy Palazzi says staff and everyone inside went on lockdown until police came. All the while, no one knew how connected they were to the horror going on outside.
This tragedy has touched our library family twice. 2 of the victims were relatives of one of our employees.
So Forston cut their lights off early so staff could support her. After the tears, hugs, and kind words, the sun finally set. And the city of Hampton held on to the little light that gives them hope.
It looks dark now, but daylight will come.
And this woman here is the mayor of Hampton. Let me just back up a little bit. And when this incident first happened, they had a press conference just to discuss it. She was visibly upset, and you can see even now this has really, just like everybody in that community, it has touched her. And I would hope that every town has a mayor like this woman.
Understandably, none of the family that I met today were ready to talk, but there is an online fundraiser set up for the Levitt family. You can find out how to help on 11alive.com. Live in Hampton, Teresa Bowles, 11 Alive News.
Okay, so that is what I have for you today. So thank you so much for those of you who were with me the first attempt and those of you who came back for the second attempt. Thankfully, everything seemed to go okay, with a few glitches along the way. I will be back later. I'm going to say 3:45, but just know that depending on how much I can get done in between, it may be closer to 4:15. So again, thank you so much everyone for being here. I really appreciate it, and I will see you very soon. So until then, I will see you all on the flip side.